Hello traders, today I'm going to give you a sneak peek into our Zoom room. First of all, we had PPI this morning, that red vertical line. This is a 30-minute chart. What did price do after PPI? Absolutely nothing. Although it was pure chop, these are the 11 trades that matched our core system that you would have seen if you were in our trading room. 100% successful trades, 11 of them in chop. Now, I only took 2 of the trades. And the reason why is we had big price action this morning, and I tell my traders that I only want to trade orderly price action. So I require price to calm down and bounce off at least 2 of my levels before I will take a single trade. And I waited over an hour for that to happen. And these are the 2 shorts I took. And as you can tell, they were both successful, including ETH trading and RTH trading. I finished the morning up about 19 or 20 futures points. So that's pretty cool. Now you're about to see the condensed version of an hour of trading in our room. There weren't any really great trades to watch. You're not going to see anyone get rich in this, but there were some wonderful discussions that I want to share with you. And what I did is I took everything that was 2 seconds or longer as a pause and I removed them. So it took an hour of Zoom and condensed it to almost in half. So it's 40 minutes. I recommend you watch this probably at double speed. And if you come across something you really like, look at it. Now, here's part of the discussion that was really awesome. This chart right here. So when you get to that part, you might want to watch that at regular speed. Welcome to our Zoom room. All right, we'll do one more hour. All right, we're entering the second hour of trading. Mark your IB highs and lows, which is the container of the highest and the lowest price within the first hour of trading. This is IB low, and the IB high is way up here. IB high. Okay. And in 96% of the trading days, I think that's the number, price action will take out either the high or the low, the IB high or low. You know, if we're looking at progression here, we got some lower highs, we got some lower lows, but we're back and forth through the opening. There is no advantage to trading here, in my opinion. We just have to sit here and wait. What a hard job. We'll get something to drink. I'll be back. Well, does anyone have any questions while we're just going nowhere that I could answer for you? Or point you in the direction to get the answer? Looks like we might try this break level again. And we got a 30-minute break level right above it. It's easier to show you on the 30-minute chart here. Let's make that bigger. So that's where I'm getting that. You know, could it technically be right here? Sure. But somewhere right there, 40-40, 40-39. But look at these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 30-minute candles in a row. We're going nowhere. I'm not that excited about taking the trade. Yeah, not that excited at all. What I'd really want us to do is let's break out of here. Let's come back and test this 30-minute hold level, because that would become a 30-minute hold level right there. Now I'm interested. This makes sense. This is a trade I want to be in. Taking this short right here, I'm not interested in that trade at all. We need to get out of this area. What's the other trade? Well, the other trade's just the opposite. We need to come down here, come back to here, then we go short. To me, that's what we're looking for. Or at least start going a little bigger and give us something we can trade. Right now, there's nothing to trade. And I learned this little trick from one of my early members, Craig. If you have a multiple charts up, you can just hit like Alt or Option Enter, and it'll make these panels go. So when I click this one, I go Option or Alt Enter. It makes it big. Option or Alt Enter, it brings it back, which is really nice. And look at that. It failed to get all the way up there. It's coming back through the opening. Not worth trading. That's for giggles. It's popped down to 30 Second, it's very interesting. The 30-second level is the same as the 3-minute break level, but I'm not that interested. You could take it though. You do any of these trades small. You know, it's interesting. Everybody look at this. So let's pretend we're just trading this 30-second level. And you're looking at the breaks. I'm just going to, that could have been a trade. This could have been a trade, touch bounce. This could have been a trade from here to here. This could have been a trade, break to break. But I'm not that interested in them. For some reason, I'm just not right now. Let's go back to 3 minutes. I don't like just going back and forth through the opening. Can you show an example of front side and back side? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. If you come over here, down to hold levels, I got multiple there for you. Just go through and screenshot those and put them in your notebook. Front side, back side, front side, back side. So I gave you lots of examples in the hold level area of the quick start guide. Do you like that? Because they can be very confusing for people. You're welcome. Oops. All right, back and forth through the opening. Let's hit the 15 minutes. I mean, look at these bodies. I know you know it, but I like to point out the obvious sometimes. It helps me and everybody. You know, I have yet to sit here for the entire morning session and not have a trade. I'm actually kind of excited if that happens today. Could there not be a trade and I don't force a trade and just sit here? So on a 3-minute chart, if we were going to start marking our trades for today, are there any on here? Well, there actually are. I just want to see more bouncing before I trade. Because this first one failed. I didn't like that this first one failed. And as I said, I wanted it to bounce twice before I would be interested in trading. With the first place it bounced after the opening was off this break level, but I'm not going to trade that very first candle. Then the second time up, I'm not going to take the short because this break level has already been tested. Price does go away, and you are left with a hold level that you could have traded. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that cleared the area, and then it came back. Let's go to a 1-minute chart and look at that a little more granular. For me, I wouldn't have hardly made anything because it touched it. I would have experienced a little bit of heat, and when it came back, I would have set my stop to at least break even and then tried a 50% trailer. So I would have probably made from 0 to 2 ticks would have been my max profit on that one. So I'm not crying over that trade, but it is a trade that at the end of the day, on our end of the day charts, will be marked. And in fact, let's go ahead and mark that as a short. It was successful. Successful means you did not lose money. So let's take these two things. Let's go here. Let's call this Tuesday. End of day. Are there any more trades? And it's real tough to see because price hasn't really went anywhere. This one would be a trade. Not the backside though. So not this. So whoever asked me front side or backside, here's a beautiful example in this area right here. In this little valley right here. This is a backside because it happens further back in time, and this is a front side because it happened first. This is a backside because it happened further back in time. This backside did not have a 2-candle clearance, so you can't count that as a level. It wasn't activated. This one, you did have 2 candles that cleared the area. You had 3 candles that cleared the area, and it came back and wicked it. You would have taken 2 points of heat and probably gotten 1 to 1.5 points if you were trailing it at 50%. somewhere in there. Once again, a real small trade. Every one of these should have been the lowest leverage that you could have traded, in my opinion, because you were trading in the middle of the action. And in fact, that's an interesting little topic to discuss for a second. Any trade that occurs in this area right here, you are trading inside the action. Okay. If price was to catapult out of here and come back, and I was to go long here, I would consider that trading outside of the action, because we went outside and it gave me a great level. So we broke out of a consolidation, came back and retested it. I would much prefer to be trading on top of the action, not inside the action. Do you mark the body or the wick? Well, the body and the wick are the exact same thing as far as this system is concerned. In fact, if you could get rid of the wicks, it might even be to your advantage. However, to answer your question, when I mark break levels, I mark bodies. When I mark hold levels, I do the wicks. That's just my personal preference. Now, if you have a really long wick, I'll show you what I do. I want to kind of get out of that area where things can be more clear. Let's just use this one. So let's say I was to mark this candle for whatever reason. I would mark both of these. And what I would do is I would put the word body on this one. Sorry if that was loud. And wick on this one. Let me scroll over so you can see that. So now whenever price action comes to it, I'll know whether it's a body or a wick. And I typically find on really long wicks, price bounces off both of them. It'll bounce off the wick and then it will bounce off the body. But if I got a really big wick like that, that's how I do it. And that's very prominent on high time frame. Let me turn all this off. Let's go to a 4 hour as an example. Like, look how big this wick is. I would mark this body and I would mark the wick. I would just denote it as so. Let me see if I can find a good example again. Here's a wonderful example of, so if you can see my horizontal bar, my horizontal line, look at this hold, how it bounced right to the tick, off the wick. Now, if you go to the body, what did it do? Well, over here, it bounced off the body. So I mark the wicks and the bodies if I feel that the wicks are big and I want to trade the very first part of that candle, which would be the wick. Does that make sense? Let me turn everything back on. Cool. Go back to 3 minute. You can double click this bar over here and it'll separate everything beautiful for you. And then I adjust it again so it doesn't go into automatic mode. Back and forth through the opening, guys. Nothing here. I'll be back. All right, I'm pretty sure I have the pro version of TradingView, but mainly it's because I want the 15 seconds and the 30 seconds. And they're going to have a Black Friday special beginning here in the next week or so where it's half off the annual plans. So if you have an account and you want to extend your membership, which I will, or if you're brand new, get in on that Black Friday special. They do that once a year. And I've also found if you have an account and you cancel it and they keep asking you to rejoin, they'll also give you 50% off the annual plan. Yeah, I even put in an event in our group, so everyone's reminded of it, and I'm sure everybody will say something. All right, back and forth through the opening. I want to go to a 1 minute because I missed setting here. Didn't really bounce off that break level. You'd have gotten out at break even, but this is not behaving in a way that I want to trade. So I'm not trading right now.
Longer trades are on break levels, right?
You know what? I haven't been measuring that.
Gathered from maybe.
I love them because they have minimal. Is Mike 1, 2, 3 in here? I was hoping he was in here. He asked a question, and I can't really tell his marking. Let me look at this. No, he marked under. It needs to be on top. It's going to bounce off that IB. He had a 30-minute level as a backup. That could have been a good trade, maybe. But we're obviously laddering down. It'll be interesting to see if we get back over the opening or if that's it. I'm going to go to a 30-minute chart real quick. Yeah, that's just the bottom of a 30-minute fair value gap. I'm going to move my arrow now to down. So my leniency is towards, my leaning is towards short. Let's see something. How big of a move was that? Almost 50 points. IB is at 15. Move this over here now. 15. 26.75. All right. So is it worthy now to mark this as a break level? Could you mark this as a hold level? You certainly could. This is a backside, technically. They're both inside of a fair value gap at 24. If you took those shorts, once again, you're trading inside the action. I would do it small. You know, typically I would say you have the opening as a backup, but it's been back and forth through the opening so much, I don't even think it matters anymore. All right, I am short. There we go. Go, go, go. Well, oh, I'm out. Trailed it at 50% for like a point or so, but now I'm out. All right. These are my entries. Entry folder. I did 4 contracts is what I did. I had them at the backside and the front side. So my average was smack dab in the middle. I dropped down 1.5 points. I was halfway down. So quick little.
I don't think I've ever asked this question before, George. So if you enter on a 1 minute and then you immediately switch to a 1 minute to manage the trade, right?
Yep.
If you did that, you'd be looking at the wicks at 2,700, which would be your hold level on a 1 minute. I took the same trade you did, but it didn't breach the 1 minute hold level at 27. So therefore, I'm not out. Have you ever looked at it from that angle?
No, I just trail it at, and then I trail it at 50% and I just go with it.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the 50%. I'm saying, so you got your entry on a 3 minute, right? Your 1 minute hold level would be greedier than your 3 minute, right?
Well, let's see if that's true in this case. Let me mark the back side. Let me mark the front side. Let's go to the 1 minute. And in this particular case, they're the exact same level.
Okay.
Sometimes they're different. Sometimes they're way different.
Yeah, well, you know me, I chart everything on MES.
Yeah.
So right now my hold level on 1 minute is 27, which is behind. So I was just wondering if you ever thought about doing that as far as your management and your stops. So, okay, thanks.
I don't understand your question, so I'm sorry.
So if you enter on a 3 minute chart, there's times where a 1 minute chart, you have a greedier level for a hold.
Sure.
Okay. So if your entry is on a 3 minute, you get your entry, you drop down to a 1 minute for your management of the trade. So maybe it gives you a little bit of wiggle room of 3 ticks or whatever the differential is.
I got you. So let's pretend for this case. Can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So let's pretend that the 1 minute was higher.
Yeah.
Giving it a little bit more room, knowing on a 1 minute, I have one more layer of protection.
There you go. That's all.
That's what you're saying.
Yep.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't know if you ever looked at it from that.
I do actually. I typically will drop to a 1 minute and see if there is a better entry with a fair value gap.
Mm-hmm.
So if I drop to the 1 minute, I do look at that. I want to know if there's a better entry with a fair value gap. In this case, I didn't. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, because we're core 3 minute, right? But I think we're getting, again, more granular and detailed. I try to do my best not to get stopped out as much. And by dropping down to that 1 minute more granular level, it still gives me hard data, right? We're not guessing, but it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. So I just didn't know if you ever, did that.
With our success rate, I should be a little more patient.
And doing that, it may give you the mechanics to do that, right? The 1+1 = 2. This still is that, but it gives you more room.
Well, and in every one of these trades, your backup is your break level.
Yeah.
In every one of these trades, and that's why we say if it breaks the break level, just get out.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You're a concern.
Yeah. Me being aggressive. It's already rebounded 10 freaking points.
Yeah, and I'm still in this trade because of this reason, and that's why I'm bringing it up.
That's awesome. Congratulations, man. That's good.
Yeah, no problem. All the goal is to, get everybody doing the best they can with limiting the risk.
And I'll tell you why I went aggressive, just to finish that conversation as well, because it didn't bounce off the backside. It bounced off the front side. And that is not my favorite trade. I personally wanted to bounce off the backside and not go. However, in this case, that finished the fair value gap on the 3 minute. So that makes sense because there is a fair value gap here on the 3 minute. It completed it. So that all makes sense. All right. Let's see if what's it going to do at this 30-minute fair value gap? And there it is, touching it. See what happens. Oh, look at that beautiful thing. 2 points in 2 seconds. I did not take this trade, nor am I. But I marked it. All right, now I can delete that because it's finished the fair value gap. You could say you had a break level right here. It's taking that out. And so you have another one here. We're definitely laddering down. You get the bottom of a 1 hour fair value gap and a break level here at this 07, 06, clearly breaching the IB low. These 1 hours tend to be really good. Let me go to 1 hour. It is a 1 hour fair value gap, but it's not a 1 hour level. We don't have 2 candle clearance here, but I'm drawing it. Go up to 1 minute for a second. Your greedier is a little doji. You have to break a little higher there. 25, 21, 19. That's quite a distance. Let's go back to 3 minute. Let's go to 1 minute. Go to 3 minute. Also be an end of the day trade. End of the day. We'll mark that one. Put these in our end of the day. 1 minute chart. All right. I took this on a 1 minute entry. Mark that so for my trades. I actually call this a 3-1 trade, where it's a 3 minute level, but I took it with a 1 minute entry. I did multiple contracts because we're laddering down. Entry turn off. Let's go back to 3 minutes. I'll go back and mark it here. So we'll see what happens. Just curious if it's going to respect that or go back through it. I'm already out, but I want to see. That's all you need is that little bounce reaction like that. This is kind of this 1 minute little doji thing. They never excite me, but I drew it because it's there. See what happens. Got a reaction, small, small, small. Not surprising because it's not the backside. Let's go back to 3 minute here. 3 minute, it's about here on that break. Just where I like to keep it. How high did that get? Almost to 23. I wouldn't. Actually, that is not the IB high. The IB high is right here. Excruciating. Here in about 35, 40 minutes, we'll go through and mark the end of the day trades for the morning. You know, when a price makes a new low and then it tears back up into the middle of the range, you have to take those trades small. I wanted to be in that short because we are laddering down, but it's just a thought process I have. Makes a new low and it goes deeper into the range. I'm not as excited. In fact, let's draw that out if you guys want. Let me just take a peek here. So price comes down, it goes up, makes a new low. Okay. Whoops. Delete. Price comes here, and it makes a new low. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. So price comes down, it rebounds up, and then it makes a new low. So there's a couple things here. This would be the backside. And up in here could be a front side level. I'm going to timestamp this on there. So when price returns back up, I only want to be in this trade. This is a backside trade, what I call on top of the action. So it broke out, price broke out, and I want it to come back and just touch the edge of the action. That's where I want to go short. I am less enthused when price goes all the way back into the action and then bounces.
Which didn't it just do that twice now? It went
Inside the action, small leverage. Sure did. So let me move these over, because this actually makes a good screenshot. So if price does this, I'm interested because it's a backside. Price does this, you're going short inside the action. And that's why I went small. I didn't do 30 contracts. I did 4. Actually, I did 2 sets of 2 is what I did. This is what I prefer. But if you come over here and look, price didn't give us the opportunity. Price only went down and then it came right back. We had no, this did not develop into a backside. Let's go back to here. Let's say so I'm going to draw my own candles. Let's say price did this. Then the next one, price did that. And then the next candle, let's just say it did this. Now I have 2 candle clearance and this is a backside. If price had done this, we would be presented with this option. Does that make sense? We need price to have done 2 candle clearance under this break level. Because at one time, this was a break level. Price went through it. The goal is for that break level to become a hold level. How does it become a hold level? We have 2 candles that clear underneath it. Then it becomes a hold level, and I want to take that bounce. We were not presented this opportunity over here for this break level. We'll turn it back to break level. So let's go forward one. All right, it took out the break level. Now what do we want to see? We want to see another candle that completely clears the area and another candle to completely clear the area. When that happens, this break level becomes a backside. But we were not presented with that opportunity. Let me go forward. Price went right back up into the action. So this would be a front side trade, small leverage. If you're just now starting in the training, that may not have made sense at all.
But didn't you get 2 candle on the 1 minute at least?
Yes. Did you get 2 candle? Hold on, let's do this. Let's go back and look just to answer your question fully.
Seems like it. First one we did.
Let's go here 1 minute.
Second one.
You had no clearance at all for the backside.
For the backside. Wait, you're on the 1 minute.
Yeah, you said didn't we get 2 candle clearance on the 1 minute?
I'm seeing it at 10:47. That candle that broke through.
Let me go back and redraw this. I need to reset your brain.
Yeah.
So here's the 3 minute. Price took it out. Your question was, didn't we get 2 candle clearance on the 1 minute?
On the 1 minute.
Now I'm going to switch to the 1 minute.
Is that the one though?
Did the break level get a 2 candle clearance?
I'm looking at a break level from 10:41.
I don't know what you're. Yeah,
What time is that for you right now? I don't see your time.
right here, 10:51.
10:51. Go to 10:41.
Okay, we can go further up. 10:41. Let's do this because price isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, that break level right there.
Okay, so
Close through it.
let's relive this for a second. Let me go here. Let me go to here. Now, one of the things you have to be careful of on a 3 minute, is that a break level?
Yeah, it's not on the 3.
That's nothing. So if you're going to just trade the 1 minute, that's up to you. Just know it's a higher risk, and automatically that means small leverage, in my opinion. Because that level is nothing on a 3 minute. So yes, you definitely had 2 candle clearance,
Okay.
and there's your backside. Beautiful.
Yeah, it took 4 points of heat, I guess, but
Just know it's a 1 minute. It's nothing on a 3 minute. So the foundation in which that is built on is weak. But it doesn't mean you can't take it, because that's the trade I took off a 3 minute. So let's go back for a 3 minute for a second. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. So what I did is I looked at this on a 3 minute chart, and I went, there's a backside, there's a front side, but I entered off 1 minute candles.
Okay.
That's the trade I took. And I had 2 sets of 2 orders setting here at the first level and at the second level. They got me into both of them. All right, great discussion. All right, let's turn this off.
Thanks.
See where we are. I think I'm gonna.
Hey George, that last conversation that you had was I think that I'm not from my chart, but I was listening. I think that was the trade that both of us were in short.
Yes.
And I dropped down to a 1 minute to manage it. Did he enter it on a 1 minute?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, my computer said something.
Yeah, did he enter it on a 1 minute where we entered it on a 3 minute?
I don't think he entered
how
it.
Played out.
I don't know. Toby, did you enter it? I have no clue.
No, I'm just trying to understand this.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks.
I want to remove that.
It would have gone okay if you were taking 4 points of heat. Okay. But
No, I got in at 25 something, 25, posted it in the floor, 25.75. I think I got in somewhere around there. Based
why
off
did you choose 25? You were kind of choosing the front side?
Yeah, I was choosing the front side with the backup of the 1 minute hold at
the 1 minute
hold at 27. Yeah, so that was how I formulated that trade, right? It started on a 3 minute level.
Yeah, I think George is saying he would have taken it at probably 24, maybe even Frank ran at so he'd be taking.
Yeah, I think he peppered his orders in there, and I think that's how he entered the trade. I just did one straight order. Either I was going to be right or wrong based on the price action we're seeing today, or which is chop, right? So I had a very small risk with my entry at 25.75 with my exit above 27. So that was what was going through my head.
Fair enough. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
Front side, backside short on top of the action, my friend. All right. I'm going to put this in the hold level quick start guide. Cool. I guess I can delete all that. It's like erasing the chalkboard. And we have not been presented with any backside trades. Not on a 3 minute.
Now I'm just looking at what's going on today versus what went on yesterday, right? What was our high day yesterday? Our high day yesterday was somewhere right around 17. We had that monster pullback, right? So we're still sitting on top of yesterday's price action. We tried to break back down. We did poke our head through the IB low, but just with a wick. Now, does that open the door for lower price action? I do think we could go lower today, a little bit more, but I do think that we'll end the day higher than where we are right now. So that's
Yeah,
a
I
game
have
plan
no
for me.
clue. And
Well, just based on yesterday, are we above or below yesterday's high?
I don't take that into my calculations.
Okay.
I don't want to be biased. I don't want to now be thinking, okay, we're low of the days in and we're going higher. So I really don't want.
No, I don't think.
And if y'all look at my screen, this is kind of what he's talking about with the TPO chart on Tradevate. It's kind of easy to see the last few days stacked on top of each other. And of course, your daily chart gives you that as well. But this is what he's talking about, that the meat of our action here is on top of the meat of yesterday's action. So it does show some acceptance up in this higher area. And as long as there's acceptance, it gives the possibility that you go higher. So that's what he's saying. We've dipped into yesterday's value area some. We have not hit yesterday's POC yet. So we'll see what happens. But I just trade the levels. Right now we are laddering down, but every ladder goes deep into the action. So it's got to be a small trade. Now we've camped out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For the last 30 minutes, we've camped out back and forth through 40.19, 40.20, which is not a shock. Well, definitely no trades. Well, not much trading going on during the second hour of Zoom trading, but there was definitely some good information exchanged here. So I will post the second hour of Zoom trading. I guess I'll make a special page. Channel for it. Make sure nobody said anything in chat. All right. Well, let's take a small peek at the rest of the week. This week, apply settings. This is all the red and orange events this week. So tomorrow morning at the same time, we got numbers that can make the market go crazy. And then it could do what it's doing right now, which is nothing. And we just have to deal with it. You go fishing, you don't know if they're biting today. So tomorrow we might go fishing and they may not be biting, or we might have the best day of the frickin' week and we make 200 points tomorrow. Thursday, you got speakers, unemployment. Oh my goodness. Same thing.
Workout.
An hour before opening, big numbers. So, man, we have had a lot of news driver events lately. And we've done very, very well. I mean, last week was 40 out of 40 trades. It's fantastic. Just be patient. All right, Europe in a couple more minutes. Then the Americans are by themselves. And we did take out the IB low. And on statistical percentages, it rarely takes out both IBs. I have that statistic somewhere in let me pull it up. All right, 97% of the time it takes out one of the IBs. And only 30% of the time it takes out both IBs. So statistically speaking, there's only a 30% chance that we're going to take out the IB high. Doesn't mean it won't happen, but statistically speaking, only a 30% chance we take out the IB high. And with this price action, it wouldn't surprise us. What has been our intraday range out of curiosity? 30 points. That's less than the typical overnight range. All right. Time is up. I'm going to stop recording. Stop recording.